torn open. You speak of stronger bridges. All I think of is suspension. Let me with my open mouth, yelling, blaming myself.
Welcome back to My Night Out Radio. This is DJ Psycho Eddie with George, and in studio tonight we have Lena Antonio. For those of you who don't know Lena, and surprisingly a lot of people do know her, she has just recently had a heart transplant, and she's got to be the most upbeat person I know. With all the snow that was going on this winter, I'd go turn on Facebook when I'm suffering, after I put away the snowblower, and she's posting, "Hey guys, if you need help digging out, I'll shovel you out." I don't even want to dig myself out, and here she is, offering to dig people out. I just got to find out, how can you be so upbeat after everything? I mean,
honestly, I'm a very helpful person, and I've been sick my whole life. So now that I have a new heart, I want to use it. And I like the snow. I honestly don't like being that cold, but now that I have a new heart, I have all the energy and strength in the world. To me, that's what I feel like. Before, when I was sick, I wouldn't be able to play in the snow for more than 5 minutes without feeling exhausted. So now, all winter, that first snowstorm, I built 8 snow forts in one day. I was digging for about 14 hours straight. Nice. Just because it was fun for me. People are like, "Oh my God, she's crazy." In my apartment complex, it's like midnight, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I just want to play in the snow.
Well, you mentioned that you were sick. What actually did happen? I've heard stories. Mm-hmm. Of course, the scuttlebutt at work, because Lena did work with me at my day job. Scuttlebutt being as it is, so you had everything from alien infestation to God only knows what. So let's get the story straight. What did happen?
Well, it's a very long story, and I'll do my best to put it all into a decent, smaller story. I was born with a congenital heart problem called truncus arteriosus type 5. I can't exactly tell you what that means or what it is.
That's what they made Google for.
Exactly. I know that I was born without my left ventricle, which is the chamber of your heart, and I was also born without pulmonary arteries, which are the muscles that control the blood that flows through your heart or to your heart. So when I was born, I only had 1% of my blood going to my body. Basically, I wasn't able to breathe. My body was not functioning. Also, when you're born with a heart problem, you also have a twin problem somewhere in your body. So my intestine did not grow correctly. So when I was 14 days old, I had an intestinal surgery. And then at 42 days old, that's when I had my first heart surgery. My surgeon, when I was a baby, was Dr. Hanley, and he basically created a miracle. He told my mom I wouldn't live until the age of 5. 5 came and went. I mean, I was a very happy baby or kid. You would never be able to tell that I was sick unless you knew me very well. The only thing that would show that I was sick, is if I would get tired much quicker than the other kids. But I lived up my life. I had fun. I did all the things. I always wanted to do everything all my friends did, and I made that possible. When I was 12, my heart failed again. I had surgery in Boston by a surgeon named Dr. Jonas. He said he said to me and my mom that it would last for 10 years. It lasted about 10 months. So after that, we did all the research in the world. My high school, East Greenwich High School, a few of my teachers got together, did research. We found my original surgeon. He was in Palo Alto, California. So when I was 15, my heart basically gave out on me. So we flew out to California, and they did emergency surgery on me there. And that surgery was actually a miracle as well, because my pulmonary arteries came from a man who passed away in Arizona. They helicoptered his parts from Arizona to California. So I'm not 100% sure if I still have his pulmonary arteries in me or if they took those out too. But from 15 till my heart transplant at 25, so 10 years, I had a gentleman's pulmonary arteries in me. And throughout all the years, I've had animal parts and mechanical parts in me as well. But they obviously didn't do the work.
Well, I got to say, for 10, 15 years, you went through hell, not knowing, one day to the next what was going on. Did you still keep, once you started going for all these surgeries, did you still keep your upbeat mentality? Were you still
Always.
trying to keep getting out there and doing whatever it is you want to do?
Yes, definitely. I was always that type of personality that I want to succeed. I would just want to be happy. I strive for happiness. Positivity is something that I 100% believe in. The power of your mind and the power of your thoughts will pull you through anything.
That's actually something that rings true. I know my sister's a nurse. I have a lot of friends and relatives that are nurses and medical staff, and they say the same thing. You have the most miserable person come in with a stub toe, and that's the one who's going to code out. And you have someone who just got literally run over by a truck and had a sign pushed through them, and they make it through because they are probably the most happiest, cheerful people before and during all this crap going on. Do you want to weigh in, George?
Yeah, I mean, I find your story to be very inspirational because
Thank you.
over the course of this past year, I was diagnosed with a heart ailment as well. And I went totally opposite than what you were experiencing. I went totally negative. And
It's easy to do that.
yeah, and it's really messed up my mind, so to speak, and which has affected everything else that I've done for a year. So I think today's meeting here is a
gonna
blessing
inspire
for
you a
me.
lot
Yes,
today.
absolutely. So
I
just want to hear your story.
I got to say, when I first physically met Lena, I've talked to her a few times because we have a lot of friends between Facebook and different promoters that we're friends with. When I actually met her face-to-face, was in the parking lot of where we work. She had what I thought was a cooler or a cinder block on a little dolly, which was actually called a BIVAD machine. That was the machine that was keeping her heart pumping until she could get her transplant. And even talking to her in the parking lot with this machine going on, she was happy, cheerful, pleasant, and she was actually selling tickets to her own fundraiser, which I helped out at. And it was amazing to just, if you didn't see everything that I saw, the hoses and the box, you couldn't tell she was sick. She would not let, she must have been, and correct me if I'm wrong, you must have been in some degree of pain.
Yeah.
And you probably weren't feeling the best. But here she is with a smile, thanking me for helping her. And that just always, it catches you. You're not sure what to do because, I got a bum knee, I got a bad back, and I'm compliant. Talk to my wife. She'll tell you I cry about it all the time. Now, here's someone who actually has medical ailments, physical ailments, and she's thanking me for helping her. It just blew my mind. So,
Well, I appreciate all the love, help, and support I have in my life.
well, I got to say, going through your Facebook, because, yes, I'm not a stalker per se. Let's just say
You're allowed to creep on my Facebook. I write some fun stuff on there.
But yes, look her up, Lena Antonio, Lena. If you're Italian, it has an R at the end, but otherwise, no. I'm just amazed that I've always been growing up. You're sick, you lay down, you wait for whatever to hit.
I don't let that happen.
Exactly.
Never.
So-
Even as a child, I wouldn't let anyone tell me I'm sick. And my mom raised me to believe that I'm beautiful, I'm happy all the time, and she always supported me in anything I wanted to do. So just growing up, I always wanted to be like the kids. I always wanted to do everything everyone else did. Obviously I had rejections, and I knew my own strength. I knew when I'd get tired, I'd have to take a break.
Well,
But-
knowing your limitations is part of life.
Yes. And it also kept me going for as long as I did. I knew my whole life I needed a transplant, but I didn't want to accept it for a while. So I kept myself healthy. I did what the doctors asked me to. And I made it as far as 24 years old. On my 25th birthday, I had my transplant. It was like brand new life, starting all over again.
Well, why don't we take a break? When we come back, we'll talk about everything you have done, because there's not much that you haven't done since this, since your surgery. Why don't we leave here with a new one? S. Walcott, someone we did meet at the Midday Social. The name of the song is Life Vests. This is My Night Out Radio on Rhode Island Free Radio. We'll be back in a minute.
If rain fell light on my shoreline, it would leave no imprint in the stones. Through your sleepy eyelids, I won't be thrown. Thought I'd fall through the brine till the end of time, but now I'm coasting. When you don't pick up the phone and I'm your life vest, I'm your life vest, I need a life vest, you swim better on your own swim. Back when her shoreline was more mine than any others, I felt her grayest trace, the back of my tongue. Back then her 2 a.m. whisper filled up my lungs, and by the time I'm coasting, you're already floating, and it's under